Okay, I'm headed to Elkhart now to pick up a camper. It's already been a little bit of a experience. I'm only an hour into the drive, and I got a check engine light. There's like I think I checked the code on my scanner. It was like a PO228 or something like that. I think that's what it was. And I searched it, and it said it was turbo sensor failure. So I got off at the next exit and just did some more researching, and it looked like it was probably my map sensor was dirty, which I should have been aware of because I cleaned it on my last Power Stroke. It's a common area to get plugged up. I think they even make like a map sensor spacer that's supposed to help with it. And of course I drove around town today and just doing some errands and stuff in the morning, and no issues. And then all of a sudden I get headed down the road and issues, right? So got off in Gary, Indiana, which isn't probably the best place to be stranded. It's not a great area, but I found an AutoZone, so I went and I got the mass airflow sensor cleaner, and I had some tools, but I saw that it was a 7mm, and I didn't have a 7mm with me. I had like a open, just like a wrench that would have worked, but or some pliers actually is what it was, but I didn't want to take a chance that I was going to strip the bolt. So they had like a little 30-piece toolkit, which sucks because for Christmas I have my wife buying me like a nice 200-piece set to keep in the truck. So I keep one. I've got one in my garage, I got one in my garage, and then I keep one in my personal camper, and then I knew I needed one to just keep in the truck for issues like this, but I didn't. I figured I'd be okay until Christmas since it's only a couple weeks away, but obviously I needed it, so I bought just like the basic 30-piece kit, and then I bought the cleaner, and I went out and started working on it, but it wasn't bad, but it's only like 15 degrees outside, so that kind of sucked. It was nice and cold, and right before I left I opted to throw on a lighter sweater just because I'm going to be driving. I do have a Carhartt, but it's just kind of bulky and hard to work with, so I just left it off. But I had my gloves and stuff, and it wasn't too bad. I had a hat. All in all, I lost about an hour just finding the AutoZone, getting the tools, getting it cleaned up and put back together. Unfortunately, the toolkit had like a not like a lock, but it was like a anti-theft thing that was keeping it closed, and I didn't realize that it needed to be taken off until I got out of the store and they had closed. So I was trying to cut it with my knife, and it just wasn't cutting. I knew if I got my fingers in there, I was going to be able to pry it open, but I was afraid that the tools were going to go flying. So that is what happened. I pried it open, and all the tools just flew out all over my truck, all over the parking lot. I'm still missing like 3 pieces. I searched with my flashlight around the parking lot, didn't see anything. I backed my truck up and walked around again, didn't see anything. So I'm hoping they're somewhere in my truck that I'll find when it's daylight out. If not, it's not the end of the world, but sucks when you buy a brand new little tool set and now you're going to be missing some pieces. But back on the road, running fine. When your map sensor on a Power Stroke is clogged up like that, you get reduced engine power, and my truck was boosting at like 70. It should be running like 5-6 psi, just cruising. It was running like 25 psi, so I knew I cleared the code, but it was still running 20 plus psi. So I knew I had an issue, and it just did. The throttle response wasn't crisp in there, so I was worried that if I hooked up a camper and I tried to get it back home, I would be over boosting and then eventually reduce engine power and it might shut me down. So I wanted to get it out. My choices really were to either find something, get it taken care of on the road, or turn around and head home because I was only an hour away from home. Luckily it worked. I got it all cleaned, and I'm headed to Elkhart to pick up a camper that I can deliver tomorrow during the day. But hopefully the rest of this trip goes smoother, and I'll try to keep up on that map sensor more. I think I'm going to look into the spacer and see if it's an easy install and if it actually makes a difference, if people have some real world experience. I'll probably do that just because that map sensor was clogged up pretty good with some soot. Yeah, day full of car issues because my wife's vehicle, somehow the valve stems were loosened on 2 of the tires. So I don't know if I had the tires replaced back in July. I don't know if maybe they didn't tighten them down enough, and then with the cold weather that we've been having, maybe they just loosened up from the weather. But she normally only drives like 5 miles to work, and today she had to go to a conference that was like an hour away. And I noticed this morning when I went to the gym, her tire light was on and it was like 26 psi in the front tire. So I went ahead and when I got home, I filled up the front tire, and the back tire was a little bit low, so I filled that up. She called me like 10 minutes down the road saying that they already went from 40 to like 25 psi. So I was just trying to find a shop, and I had bought the warranty on the tires, so I was wanted to make sure if it was a nail or something that the tire needed to replace, that we did it at the place we got the warranty. And of course there was nothing like really local in the area, but there was a tire shop that was a Goodyear that would honor the warranty to fix anything. They just wouldn't honor the warranty to replace the tires. So luckily she got it there. They diagnosed it with the valve stems being loose, and they were able to get it all fixed up for her, get her home. So no charge there, which was nice, but definitely just a day full of stress and vehicle issues now, and hopefully we don't have any more moving forward. But I'll probably do an update with picking up the camper. Honestly, don't even know what I'm getting. I gotta look and see what it is, but I don't know how big it is or anything like that. But I'll do an updated video when I'm doing my inspection on the trailer, and maybe once I'm hooked back up and rolling. All right. Got everything hooked up, safety chains, lock, lights are working, everything's working the way it's supposed to, tires are on, doors are locked. Let's see, spare tire, all lights in the back are working, no sewage cap, but I'll close the drain. Let's see what we got here. 30 foot 4 inches long, 7,600 pounds. All right, good to go. All right, hooked up and headed back home for the night, and then I'm gonna deliver this trailer tomorrow during the day. I'm going up to Lake Mills, Wisconsin. It's really cold outside, and I was having trouble getting into the yard because at nighttime it's locked up, and it has like one of those locks that you gotta spin the code. And I don't know if it was just because my hands were cold, because I've done it many times, going in there and getting it. Not many, but a few times anyways. And I just couldn't get that gate code open, and I double checked to make sure that the code didn't change. I texted my dispatcher, and he's like, nah, code's the same. So I was getting a little bit worried there, and then I saw a truck pulled up behind me. So that gentleman got out, and it turns out he also is dispatched to the same company that I'm leased on with. And he verified my code was correct, and he's like, yeah, I had some trouble with this last time I was here picking up. So he kind of knew what to do, and he got it open. Like I said, I don't know what it was, because I have gone at nighttime before and got it open. So I don't know if it was just cold and I was trying to get moving as quick as I could, but he kind of verified that it isn't the easiest gate lock to open up. So, but he kind of showed me what I need to do to get it open. It was nice that was the first time I've ever met anybody else that's leased on by the same company that I am. We're a smaller company. I think there's only like 10, maybe 10 drivers or so. So I have not seen anybody out on the road with the same signs or anything like that. So it was cool to meet him. It was nice. He was there with his dad, rolling on with him. We both made a comment about how like last week the yard was completely full, and now there's almost nothing in there. So people are definitely moving some campers. I kind of had a slower week just because my wife was out of town, and I had to be with my kids, so I didn't have anybody to watch them as much. So I only ran a couple loads earlier this week. This is my third one of the week. But I did talk to my dispatcher. I'm going to get a fourth one for the weekend just to kind of get 4 loads in. But I don't think I'm going to be able to pick up from the yard I want to. So I think I'm going to go a little bit farther, go to the manufacturer. But he can have it set up if I want to pick it up at night, I can. So I think I'll go Saturday night, pick it up, bring it home, and then deliver it Sunday depending on where it's going. That way I can get my 4th load in for the week, make a little extra money. Also found out that we are going to be able to deliver during the shutdown of the dealership that the family dealerships that we work with. We thought we were going to be shut down for a couple weeks. So I kind of thought I might be off, but it sounds like we won't be shut down. Should be able to run loads. I think there's plenty of stuff to run. So at least for next week, I'm going to try to run a normal schedule, 3-4 loads at least. And then the week of Christmas, I don't know. I think Christmas Eve falls on like a Tuesday, and then Christmas Day is on a Wednesday. So maybe I'll see what I can do over that weekend, next weekend, and then maybe like run one on Monday, and then take like Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday off, and then run one Friday, run one Saturday or something like that, just to kind of get things, if the loads are there. I'm not desperate for it, so like if they're not there, they're not there. I'll spend time at home, and like I said, I still got plenty of work with my business to try to get done, if the weather cooperates. But yeah, so there's that. I did want to mention I've listened to a few other YouTube channels, watched a few other videos, RV transporters, and they mention, some people believe in doing your maintenance yourself. Some people think that you should, take it to get maintained. And I'm not going to say there's a right way or a wrong way. There's definitely benefits to both. Obviously you're going to save money doing maintenance yourself. And then, on the flip side of it, having maintenance done at, say, a dealership or a mechanic in general, one of the benefits there is going to be that you can check maybe some things that you wouldn't notice doing work yourself. You'll be able to kind of find those things that might be wrong. Let's say you got a bad ball joint, tie rod, something like that. If you're just doing like your oil change, your fuel filters, it's jacking it up, or just climbing underneath the truck at home, you're not going to see some of that stuff that you would see if it's up on a lift. So there's obviously benefits to both. But tonight was kind of a perfect example of being able to do some of the work yourself. Get the check engine code. I checked it on my scanner, seen, what the code was, cleared it, noticed that I'm still having some issues with the truck. And I was able to find, it was my fault for not having the appropriate tools to do the job right away. But luckily I was able to stop at an AutoZone, pick up what I needed, clean out that map sensor, get it put back on, and head back down the road. Had I not had the ability to do that basic maintenance, what I would consider pretty basic, your situation is, like I said, I could have maybe milked it home and then taken it somewhere to get fixed in the morning, and started the process over maybe tomorrow afternoon sometime when it's working. Or, worst case scenario, if I would have just stayed where I was at, found a dealership or mechanic in the morning to try to work on it, it's obviously going to cost a lot of money versus the, $30-$40 I spent on map sensor cleaner and a little toolkit. And like I said, if I had the tools that I should have had with me, I'm not gonna say I should have had map sensor cleaner with me. That's kind of, maybe I'll keep it now that's in the truck. I put it in my tote that I keep in the bed, and it's gonna be there just in case it happens again. But and I'm also gonna be more diligent about checking it. Had I had the tools, it would have been $5 for a can, $5-$6, whatever it was for a can of map sensor cleaner, versus I spent the extra $30 or so on. I think it was $25 on the tool set because it was on sale for like 50% off. I think it was supposed to be 50 and it was at sale for 25 or something like that. But like I said, it could have been a $5 fix had I had all the tools I should have had with me. But yeah, there's definitely benefits, like I said, to both ways. I'm going to continue to do as much of the maintenance as I can myself. One thing that I'm going to definitely stick to having done at a shop, tires, obviously. Getting tires, I'll continue to buy them. There's a place by my house, it's called Just Tires. If I buy tires to them, which I have on all my vehicles for a couple of years at least now, they do free rotations and balancing because you bought the tires there. So on my last truck, I had those 35-inch aggressive all-terrains. I had those things balanced like 4 times there. I wish they could have got it right the first time, but they finally got it right like after the 4th time, and I had already had them on for like a year. And then like I said, the rotations, especially when we're driving as much as we are, I could take it there every week and they'll rotate them without charging me. So obviously I can jack it up, rotate the tires at home, but that place is 5 minutes down the road from my house, and they're gonna put it up on a lift, have it rotated in no time. So I'll definitely continue to buy my tires there and go through the process of getting the balancing and the rotating there, and also alignments. They do, if you pay a little extra, I want to say it's like $50 more than like a standard alignment. I think you get like a 2-year warranty. So the next time I need an alignment on this truck, I'll probably get it done there, and I'll go with the one that's a little bit more so I can get a 2-year warranty. That way if it starts to get out, just take it back in and it's covered. So I think that's a pretty good thing. But I'll stick to doing the oil changes, fuel filters, crankcase ventilation filters, map sensor cleaning, transmission service, diffs, all that. I'm gonna continue to do that myself to save on that money, especially because probably looking at oil change about every 2 to 3 weeks, because right now I'm at like 4,200 miles on this oil change. And it might be a little more than that because the dealership did it and I reset it when I bought my vehicle, my truck, but I doubt that it had many miles put on it sitting after the oil change. Who knows? But I'm at like a little over 50% oil life at 4,200 miles, which I was kind of surprised with all the towing. But I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be like an 8,000 mile oil change, so probably around that 3-week mark, 3 to 4 weeks, somewhere in there. Every month or so I'll be doing oil changes. So my last truck I was using Motorcraft filters, Motorcraft oil, and I would just stop at the Ford dealer, pick up the oil. It's pretty expensive for like a 1.25 quart jug, and I need 15 quarts, so three of those. It's like 50 something bucks a piece, I think. So the oil changes, doing it myself, are coming out to like 170, which is kind of ridiculous, doing it myself. So I've been doing some research on what oil to use, and I was gonna go with Shell Rotella. I've used that in the past on my diesels, but Napa had Valvoline Blue on sale for $25 a gallon. So I stopped at my local Napa and I bought everything they had, which was I think 5 gallons. I wanted 8, but they actually had 6, but it looked like it was leaking a little bit, so I only grabbed the 5. I think I'm gonna try to stop back and grab 3 more. I basically want to have enough oil and filters to do 2 changes at all times, basically, so that I don't forget, run out, and not have what I need. So I ordered 2 of the filters online. I have them already, and I have enough to do the oil change for when it's ready for that. But I'm gonna get some more, and I think I'm gonna stick with that Valvoline Blue. I read some really good reviews on it. The price seems right, yeah. So then my oil change, doing it myself, is right around that like 120 range, which, I mean, it's still expensive, but for a diesel with 15 quarts of oil, like it is what it is. And then I'll stick with the Ford fuel filters as well. I just think the Motorcraft, whether you're I think if you're running a Ford, obviously stick with Ford. If you're, same thing with Rams. If you're running a Ram, stick with a Ram. Motorcraft or Mopar parts. I'm sure there's some good filters out there, but I don't really want to take a chance on a cheap filter. I'm sure they're all made in the same area, but I'm gonna stick with what has been proven to work. But yeah, I just want to go over some of that maintenance items. I am going to do my follow-up after 1 month of ownership, how many miles I drove and all the maintenance and things like that. But I just want to touch on it a little bit in this video. I just noticed that the guy that I met up at the yard, he's behind me still, because he said he was headed up to Wisconsin, so he's probably going to be following the whole way. Yeah, if you please like the video, leave a comment if there's anything you have questions on, or like if you've used a different oil in your Power Stroke than a Valvoline or Motorcraft. If you're telling me like T6 is better, the Shell Rotella or Schaefer's or something like that is going to make a big difference, let me know. I'd like to hear about it. Or if you found a good place to, say, order filters from, I would love to hear about that as well. So, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do a video soon on basically 1 month of YouTube and how that's going. So, thank you.